up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Aurora. If you guys are new here, I go by Aurora Jacinda on Instagram, and we are getting down to the video that you guys have been requesting for forever, and this is going to be a full-on makeup tutorial. I'm gonna hop right in, show you guys all the products I'm using and everything that I do. This is like my typical kind of weekendy glam look. This is what I go for like when I'm not going to work and I want to look cute. So let's hop right into it. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and start with my Rare Beauty primer. This is an illuminating primer. So I just do a little bit of this. I'm going to put this everywhere on my face except for my nose. And this morning I already washed my face and moisturized, so I'm not putting any other moisturizer on. I would say that this primer is a little moisturizing, and I just think it makes your face look really nice and beautiful and helps not get that dried out makeup look. So put that kind of everywhere. And then on my nose, I actually use a different primer. I don't know why, I just have. This is the Mercier. This is going to be the Pure Canvas Primer in Blurring. So I just take a tiny little bit of that on the tip of my finger and put that on my nose. I just feel like this helps. This is where I really get a lot of pores, so it just helps look nice and smooth. And then next we are going to, if I have any red spots on my face, I typically go in with a little bit of my Rare Beauty concealer. I'm in the shade 200C. And this about matches my foundation color, so it's not going to show bright through in any of these colors, or in any, yeah, it's not, this isn't going to show bright through. So go ahead and blend that in. I just have this little blending concealer brush from Tarte. Next, I'm going to go in with my absolutely favorite foundation. This is the Makeup Forever Reboot Foundation, and I'm in the shade Y315. This is usually a shade I can make work pretty year-round, honestly, but this shade is pretty perfect for my face right now. I just pump about 2 pumps on the back of my hand, and I'm going to take my IT Cosmetics. This is the Airbrush Foundation brush, and I'm going to go ahead and dab that in with my brush. I've just found I personally like applying with a brush way better than a beauty blender. And pro tip, when there is not very much foundation left on your brush, that's when I go ahead and just blot my nose just a tad bit, just so it kind of blends in with the rest of my face, but I won't actually put a big glob of foundation on. Next, I'm going to go in with now a little bit of more concealer. This is going to be, I'm just using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, just because this is a little bit lighter shade than the one I have from Rare Beauty. And I'm just going to do a couple dots down here on my nose, Cupid's bow. Okay, just those spots I want to look a little bit more highlighted on my face. Okay, now before my under eyes have any time to crease, I go ahead and take some of my Veil Translucent Setting Powder, and I'm going to take this little brush that I have from e.l.f. and I'm going to dab that under my eyes, again, so my eyes don't have any time to crease. Next, we're going to go ahead and do our bronzer, so contour. I'm going to be using this Milk Makeup Cream Bronzer Stick. This is in the shade Baked. It's one of my absolute favorites. So all I'm going to do is take this flat kind of brush that I have, again, just from e.l.f., and I just kind of rub it on the tip of the bronzer and go ahead and do my contour. I just kind of stipple it on, and I try to keep it nice and dark back here and a little bit lighter as I get to the front. And that is all I do as far as the cream bronzing product. I use something different on my nose, so now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to blend that in just with another, like, this is a Wet n Wild brush. I am not super fancy with my brushes except for my foundation brush. Like, it just blends so flawlessly, the cream products. Okay, And then next we're going to go ahead and do the liquid highlight. I do liquid and powder. This is from Rare Beauty. This is in the shade Mesmerized. It's like a rose kind of gold color, but very subtle. And I go ahead and do it kind of one side at a time so that the highlighter doesn't dry in place and leave like a ring. Next we're going to go in with my cream blush product. This is from Rare Beauty. This is in the shade Happy. Okay, so this is a hot pink looking shade, but do not be afraid of it. I'm just going to use a tiny little bit. And I'm just going to use a beauty blender on this. I'm going to kind of spread it out, and then I'm going to kind of push it into my bronzer. Next, I'm going to do a little bit more of bronzer. This is going to be a powder bronzer, and I'm going to contour my face with this. So I just have this little shade that I made for Makeup for Forever, and I'm going to be using this matte bronzer color. So first I'm going to start out with my nose and go ahead and contour that first. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the bronzer on the sides of my face. So starting with my nose first and then the sides of my face. And then now that I have that on my nose, I'm going to go ahead and do sides of my face, just a little bit more contour. A little bit more bronzy just since I'm so freaking white right now. Under my chin. I love this big brush. It's kind of like angled, but it's super fluffy. And it makes it so easy to apply this bronzer. And then up on my forehead. And I'm going to go ahead and blend what I had on my nose out. It's coming together. So now that I am done with that operation, I'm going to do a little bit of my powder blush. Just a tad, a little bit. In that same area where we did the cream. Like literally barely any. I just feel like it needs a little more color. Okay, next oh, and by the way, I am using, this little palette that I got from Ulta. I don't know if it's available anymore, but blush is blush. Lots of different things out there. And then I'm going to be using this glow kit from Anastasia, Beverly Hills. There are 4 different shades here. I'm going to be using the shade Butterscotch, which is that bottom color, not the pink one, the brown looking one. And I'm going to use this little blush brush I have. I think I got it like TJ Maxx. And just some soft sweeps over those areas that we want to be highlighted. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and just set my face a little bit with that same setting powder, and then I just have this little brush again from e.l.f. And I only set the areas on my face that are prone to get oily, which is kind of my T-zone area, definitely my nose. Gotta get that good. I don't put a whole lot on here, just a little bit, and those are going to be the only areas that I set on my face. So next we're going to get into eyes, which I feel like is everybody's favorite. So first up, I'm going to use a little bit of eye primer. This is from Kokie Professional. I think you can get this at like Kroger's. It is just Prep Up eyeshadow primer. Put a little bit on each eye. And then I'm just going to go ahead and smooth that in with my finger. Nothing crazy, just a nice little bit. And then I am going to just take that little bit of setting powder that I have again, and I'm just going to kind of set my eye as well, just so that the eye primer isn't like sticky and it's not hard to blend out those shadows. And one more thing before I really get into my eyes, I am going to be using this Airbrush Flawless Filter Setting Spray. This is from Charlotte Tilbury, and I usually do a little bit around and an X-ish. Whatever, like, I feel like I get it good. This is bomb, though, by the way. Definitely a need. Alright, now into the eyes. Okay, so first thing I'm going to start with is I actually have two new palettes from ColourPop. I just recently got one called Whatever, one called Truly Madly Deeply. I'm going to be using those today. Very affordable. And then I'm also going to be using the Tarte and Bloom palette. Sorry, I have the biggest itch on my nose right now. So first things first, I'm actually going to take my highlighting palette that I used earlier, and I'm going to take this top marshmallow shade, and I'm going to take just a little brush that I have like this and pop some of that highlight right in the corner of my eyes. Next, I'm going to pop into my Tarte and Bloom palette, and I'm going to start with this top kind of brown, just matte shade there, and I'm going to take a nice big fluffy brush, and I'm going to start at my outer corner. Again, I usually stick with neutrals, so I'm going to be sticking with mostly neutrals today. And I'm going to run through this pretty quickly and just show you guys that it is a very easy look. I just kind of play around with the colors sometimes with my eyes, but this is pretty much my every weekend look. So again, out, and then windshield wiper. And then I'm going to go in with this shade called Rocker, which is a little bit more shimmery, and just pop that with that same brush in my crease. I'm going to go into that Truly Madly Deeply palette, and we're going to play around with some colors here. So I'm going to start by taking this little brush that I have. It's a little bit more kind of flat, and I'm going to go in with this Golden Gate Bridge color, this, oh, you guys can't see, this light brown color. And pop it kind of all over my eye, just since it's a little bit lighter than that color previously that I had. I'm going to go into this palette from ColourPop, the Whatever palette, and I'm actually going to go into kind of this darker red color and pop that on my corners, just because it is Christmas Eve. I don't think I even said that on my video yet. I am filming this on Christmas Eve. And I'm going to take this more kind of flat brush that I have, and actually I think I used that color probably last week on the same brush. And I'm going to start actually I think with this dark brown color right here called In Bold, and put that on one side, and I am going to just start kind of pressing just very gently on the outer corner of my eye. It doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to end up blending this guy out anyhow, but we just want to start getting a little bit more color in there. Okay, go back in with my kind of brush that I used to blend, and then now go into that bright dark red color and pop a little bit on the corner again. Again, doesn't have to be perfect because I end up just blending it out anyhow. Really just like to have a little pop of color. And then I'm going to go back into that first palette from Tarte and use that dark brown color that we started with. And I'm going to just pop a little bit of that under my under eyes. I also have a smaller brush that I use to do this with sometimes as well. And then I usually go into one of my palettes that has like a brighter kind of white color, and I will pop it in this area. This just looks like I'm playing around kind of with that new Whatever palette that I have, and with a little bit of my Tarte palette, just mixing a couple lighter shades, glittery shades together, and doing the inner corner of my eye. Then next I'm going to go back into my Tarte palette, and I'm going to use the color Sweetheart, which is that pink shade, and I'm going to go back into one of my other brushes that I have, and I'm going to put that here in basically the middle of my eye. Alright, and that's pretty much what I do for like my main eye look. And then, so super simple and easy, then I'm going to go in with some glitters that I actually got in this ColourPop palette. As you guys know, I usually use the Tarte Beauty glitters, but those aren't available anymore. So I am going to be using these kind of gold glitters that I have for today. I might even, yeah, I'm just going to stick with the gold glitters because I know I like those a lot. So I take a very flat brush. I'm going to spray it with a little bit of setting spray. It can literally be any kind of setting spray. I'm using my Urban Decay All Nighter one just because I have it, and I don't really use that one much on my face anymore. I love it. I just personally really like the Charlotte Tilbury one. And then we're just going to press these bad boys right on my lid. I start kind of at that inner corner area because that's where I want the main kind of glitter focus to be. So looking very pretty. This is, I feel like you guys I always get compliments on the glitter, or questions and comments about the glitter and compliments. And then I'm just gonna press them on there until I get the full glittery look that I'm looking for. To me, adding just that little bit of red, it just looks so pretty and fiery. Usually I only have to put setting spray on it one time, but you obviously can spray it more than that if you're not able to pick up the glitters. So that is it for my eyes. Just kind of come in there so you guys can see, for the eyeshadows I should say. And then next, we're going to put on some lashes and do the eyeliner. Hopefully my camera doesn't die, because this is what I ran into last time at the very end, but it's looking good. It says it's still halfway full, but last time I feel like it did and it fooled me. So anyhow, we are going to be going in with these lashes today. So this is the Kiss Lash Couture Fake Mink collection, and this is what they look like. They're Little Black Dress, that's the name of them. I already went and cut these to the shape of my eyes. That is key. I just learned that a couple months ago. Changed my life. So we are going to actually start with the Too Faced Better Than Sex. This is a liquid eyeliner. I'm going to do my best to show you guys what I do, but it's a little hard, so sorry if I have to get really close to my mirror here. Okay, so they never end up being totally perfect. I always have one that's pointed a little bit more up, which I feel like is always a side, and this one ends up being a little bit more straight, but they're good enough. It's not like anybody's gonna notice. So we are done with that. And then I'm gonna let those guys dry for just a second, and then I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to curl my lashes really quickly, just my top lashes. I'm going to apply a little bit of my Ilia mascara, which this guy, let me show you this wand, it's really cool. So basically it has almost like a comb on one side and then like a regular brush on the other, and I just feel like it makes your lashes look gorgeous. I'm obsessed with it. And then after that dries, I'm gonna go ahead then pop those lashes on, and I'm going to be using just a little lash adhesive for that, and let it get tacky on the lashes first, and then apply them with this little guy that I have to help me. And I have glitter on my face. I'm just gonna kind of put you guys through a little time loop and show you guys the finished look, and then we will get right into lips very quickly.
Can I tell you a secret? Might have to slide in close for you to hear it. Over that bartender, yelling out them drinks. Will the cover band off key sings, yeah. Can I tell you a secret? Between you and me, all I can think about is leaving here early to get you alone. Pulling you into me, not even music on. Nothing but you, my tea, white sheets. Between you and me, between you and me, yeah. You know me like no one. It's like you get done up to get me undone, killing me in that dress.
Alrighty, so I just finished putting those lashes on. I had a little trouble for some reason today getting my inner corners to stick perfectly, which I don't know why, but I picked up this little dual set from Huda Beauty. So in the shades Interview and Girls Trip, this set was like $13 on sale right now. And I'm going to go ahead and start with this little bit of darker color. This is Interview. Beautiful color. Really like the formula actually too. And I think I'm actually going to take a little bit of this Girls Trip color and do it kind of in the center of my lips. I've seen people do that and it looks really pretty, so let's go for it. You can't really tell much of a color difference, but there's a little there. Gorgeous. I really like these two together. Oops. And then sometimes I will put like a little bit of lip gloss. I don't know if I have any up here over my lipstick. I do actually. We'll slap a little bit of glitter on there. I just think it looks pretty. This is just from Too Faced. It's actually from one of their Christmas kits last year. Alrighty guys, that is the completed look. I hope you like that. I hope you liked the tutorial. I loved it. It turned out really cute. I really like this lip color. It's just very like neutral and chill. I thought about doing a Christmas lip color, but I really like how this turned out. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you guys liked it and if you guys want to see more makeup tutorials from me. And happy, well, Merry Christmas Eve. I hope you guys have a, or had a, depending on when this video goes up, a wonderful holiday. Subscribe if you like this and obviously like the video, and follow me on Instagram for more every day-to-day things. I will see you guys later.